Welcome to Miss Lam's Math World. Today we are going to discuss the equations which are reducible to quadratic equations. Here, these are the common types of equation that sometimes can be reduced. That means we can rearrange and make it to be a quadratic equations. That means ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So the first one, fractional equations means you'll get some fractions in the equation. For example, like this, 1 over x is a kind of fraction, right? So next, we got an equation of higher degrees. For example, we use another variable. Alright, so this one is also possible to reduce to quadratic equation. But if you get a question like this, then you cannot. Because if it is in the case of higher degrees, so you should get the power multiplied by 2. So similarly, we can also use that for square root sign. Maybe y and then square root y. Exponential. So we actually discussed those kind of questions before. I'm not sure if you still remember. So this is the most basic case. And then the variable will be u is equal to 2 to the power x, like this. So let us written down the rest of them, and we also write down the ways to substitute. Okay. Logarithmic equations. So log x squared plus 2 log x, right? Plus 1 is equal to 0. Triple equations. So we have already learned it in Form 4 M2 cross. Sine squared x plus cosine x minus 1 is equal to 0. Is that right? So for C to F, you will be able to use the substitution to reduce them into the quadratic equation. So C like this, u is equal to square root y. For D, u is equal to 2 to the power x. Also for B, right? B, maybe we use x to be u to the power 3. So the next one, E, we can use maybe y, okay, equals to log x. Okay, so this one becomes y squared. This is 2y. Oh, sorry, 2y here. So lastly, if you get square and the one without square, we can choose. So we have to use y is equal to cosine x. Okay, so after you have calculated, remember to check the validity of the question. That means you will need to check if you will get the problem of undefined after you have calculated a question. Now, let's start to solve the equations. The first one, we just need to expand, right? So expand 2 times x, 2 times x plus 2 times 3, and so on. Minus 1, right? And then minus 3 over x equals to 4. So in order to solve the equation, we have to multiply both sides by x. 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. Quadratic equations, that means we will put everything on the left, and then 2x. This time is only plus 1, right? That means 3x minus 1 in this way. So x is equal to -3/2 or x is equal to 1. So we substitute the answer to the left hand side and see if it is equals to 4. So substitute here, from the left hand side you will get 4 here, and the right hand side of course it is 4, so it is correct. You may also do this similarly for x is equal to 1. So as both of them are correct, so we can write the answer in this way. Okay, and normally if the domain is right, it is fine for fractional equation. So for the next example, the method is actually very similar as before. That means our task is to solve them by multiply the LCM of the denominator. So now multiply the LCM on both sides, and you will get the right hand side minus x plus 3 times x minus 3 for the left hand side. After you multiply, that means you find a common denominator in this case. Remember, you have to simplify this in one step and keep the negative sign here before you expand that. Otherwise, it will be very easy to get what's so-called careless mistakes. 5x plus 3 x squared plus 5x minus 6 is equal to 0. So x plus 5, that means plus 6 minus 1. X is equal to -6 or x is equal to 1. So as both of them actually got no problem about the domain problem, so these two are the answers.